Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Mishal Saeed, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're thrilled to have Kristy Yoder joining us. She is the CEO of Smart VAs and Meet Star VAs, and also the host of her own podcast. A Filipina entrepreneur based in Ohio, Kristy has grown her VA agency from a one-woman show to a team of multiple individuals, empowering entrepreneurs to scale with freedom and flexibility. We'll explore her founding story, really how her business is transforming delegation and what the vision looks like for scaling her global impact. So with that being said, Kristy, welcome to Founders Future.
Hey, Michelle, thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure having you on. So take us back to the beginning. What inspired you, a specific challenge, maybe overwhelmed entrepreneurs or untapped talent? What inspired you to actually launch your businesses?
To be honest, I didn't have any vision of starting my own business. So when I was in the Philippines around 2017, I was a virtual assistant. And during that time, the term virtual assistant wasn't as popular yet. So during that time, I was a freelancer. I considered myself a multi-skilled freelancer because I can pretty much do everything that can be done online in terms of admin, creatives, and also tech. And so I started working for clients and help them out with social media management, website designing, and other administrative tasks. And then when I moved to the States, which was 2019, so just right before the pandemic, I started calling myself a virtual assistant because that term was getting popular during that time. And when I moved here in Ohio, I started getting connections, new friends, new business owner friends. And I also had too many clients during that time. And my current clients back then, they kept on delegating projects to me, probably because they like working with me, right? And so I started feeling overwhelmed and stressed. And the very reason why I actually started freelancing back in 2017 was because I wanted to have freedom and flexibility because I was going to get married during that time. That's the reason why I moved to the States. And so when I got married and I was working for other clients as a virtual assistant, I experienced stress and overwhelmed. And I was just like, I thought I started becoming a freelancer for freedom, but I created my own prison because I couldn't say no to clients during that time because I was such a people pleaser during that time. I just moved to a new country and I didn't want to reject other people because I didn't want to be rejected as well. And so my husband was working for an electric company during that time. So he had to wake up around 5 a.m. to prepare for work. And when he went to sleep, I was still working. When he woke up, I was still working. And so he's, babe, what's going on? I thought you started this so that, you can spend time with me, but that wasn't the reality during that time. And so there was a light bulb moment. I was like, oh, why not contact my friends in the Philippines who were also freelancing the same time as me? And so I contacted them. They helped me work for my projects and for my clients. And from there, I started the agency. It became a business. I'm no longer a freelancer now. I'm the CEO of the business just because I asked for help and I found a solution to my problem.
I love it. I love it. I love having female entrepreneurs on here, starting their own business, being the boss of their own impact. So, with that being said, I'd love for you to get into the nuts and bolts for our listeners today. As far as it goes with the core offer, what is that exactly really for some of the businesses that you have? How do you structure it for your clients you work with? And then who is your ideal client? So, it's a three-part question there, but I'd love for you to paint that picture for us.
So, our target clients would be any business owners, any entrepreneurs who are wanting to have freedom and flexibility in their business. So regardless if they're coaches or marketing agencies, speakers, or maybe in the health industry, we help those types of business owners, specifically overwhelmed and stressed business owners who are ready to scale their business. As when you are trying to grow a business, there are too many moving parts right now. And as a business owner, especially during at the beginning, you tend or you try to wear different hats like sales, marketing, recruitment, HR, being the CEO, a lot of things, right? And you tend to become overwhelmed because you have too many focus. And because you have too many focus, you couldn't focus on anything at all because you don't have a priority. And so what we do is that what my company does is Smart VAs is we assign a team of virtual specialists. So depending on what the client needs. So let's say, Michelle, if you're a business owner and you're looking to scale your business, and when somebody is looking to scale their business, they need different things. They need to grow their social media, maybe LinkedIn outreach. They need SEO or website design, making sure that their website speaks to their target audience. And you cannot really expect just one individual, one virtual assistant, or one remote worker to do all of those things, because those require different skill sets, right, and experience. And so what we do, we assign a team of virtual specialists depending on what the client needs. So we assign skilled individuals to help with graphics, social media, video editing, podcast management, anything that a business owner needs. So we assign one specific individual with a specific skill set so that the individual don't get burnt out as well, and this individual can work on things that they are passionate about. And so because we assign a team and there are different people working on different tasks, they're able to scale their business faster, because as compared to just one person working on different tasks, that one person can only work for one task at a time. But when you have a team, from 8 to 9 a.m., you can have multiple people working on different tasks, so you achieve results faster. And then on top of that, we assign a project leader to monitor the tasks of the VAs and to monitor the project as well, because we also don't want the client or the business owner to monitor the team, right, and to ask for updates and follow up on the project. So we want to take that away from the client and give them focus so that they can focus on revenue generating tasks. So what we do is we give them back their time. Say they have an 80-hour project with us, so we give them back 80 hours so that they can use that 80 hours to work on revenue generating tasks. Was I able to answer your question, or did I miss anything?
Yeah, amazing. No, I love the fact that a lot of what your focus is on enabling entrepreneurs to really get that time back to focus on the things that matter the most to them from a fulfillment standpoint. As far as it goes with a client engagement, let's say a solopreneur or growing business comes to you. What does their journey look like from initial consultation to seeing results? What are those key steps? And how do you ensure that your VAs deliver tailored and high impact support?
That's a good question. So at Smart VAs, we love systems and processes. But of course, initially, we didn't have those things. But eventually, we realized that we needed those things, because if not, then we wouldn't be able to handle our clients and take care of them, and we wouldn't have a successful agency. So when a lead comes in, of course, everything is automated, the follow-up, email, the reminders, and all that. I have an outsourcing specialist, and she's awesome. Her name is Mildred. So she's the one who speaks to our lead. So initially, what she does during a Zoom call is she asks them about their needs, their goals, and their pain points, and then making sure that they are the right fit for us. And then if they're the right fit for us, then we walk them through our discovery call process. So we have a 15-minute presentation that explains who we are, what we do, and the value that we can offer to them. And the latter part of the presentation is the pricing, their investment. So we don't really tell them initially how much we cost, because sometimes when you tell somebody your pricing, they're like, oh, you're expensive, oh, you're this, you're that, and they have those kind of comments because they don't know who you are yet, and they don't know the value that you can bring to the table. So that's why we focus on their pain points, making sure that they're the right fit for us, and we let them know about the value that we can bring to the table as well. And then we talk about the investment. And then after the discovery call, if they're like, yeah, I like your team, I feel like this could work for me, we introduce them to their team members. This is even without committing yet. We don't send the invoice or the contract yet, but we allow them to meet the team that we are going to assign to them at no cost, and they get to meet the team, they get to know them personally, see if there's chemistry between them and the team, and just making them feel confident that this is the team that they're gonna work with, and these are the people that they're gonna work with. And after the introduction call with the team, if they feel like we're the right fit for them, then we send the introduction. No, we send the invoice and then the contract. And then we have a weekly meeting with new clients. So for the first 3 initial months, those are the 3 critical months with us. We really make sure that we meet with the clients at least once a week during the first month, and then twice a month during the second month, and at least once a month during the third month. And we also have a 90-day action plan that we create for our clients based on the tasks that they said they're going to need help with. And so we follow the 90-day action plan to the best of our ability, but sometimes we change it because you know how business owners are sometimes, right? They change their minds. They're like, I want to do this, but after 2 weeks, they're like, oh, I want to do this actually. And that's a good thing about what we do actually. So if a business owner comes to us and they said, oh, I only need social media and podcast VA right now, but then after 2 weeks, if they want to add a website designer or an SEO specialist, we can easily add those 2 team members to their project. And so of course, we also do quarterly planning with our clients. We have milestone presentation to them, and we have 60-day and 90-day client satisfaction that we do to make sure that they're happy and satisfied with us during the first 90 days. And if they are not happy with any of their team members, we can replace the team members for them at no extra cost.
Amazing. So really, from what it sounds like, there's really an action plan that's built out for some of the clients you work with. And you do offer that client satisfaction guarantee upon the 60 and the 90-day mark. So I love the fact that you mentioned that, because a lot of VA agencies, they struggle to really keep that quality as far as working with entrepreneurs, and you're able to work with your team to pivot and ensure that you guys can meet those demands as CEOs change things up last minute. I love that. So as far as it goes on the scalability side of things, how are you thinking about approaching that, especially with your offer? It's a fulfillment model where you're probably going to have to bring on more and more VAs as far as keeping up with those client demands. How are you thinking about scaling this in a manner that is effective and manageable so that you can keep up with the fulfillment side of things? What's your thought process there?
Yeah, so that's actually a good question. If you asked me this question 3 years ago, I probably don't have a very good answer for you, which I'm glad right now I can answer that question. So back in, I think 2022, early 2022, we did our sourcing manually. So we post on Facebook, we post on LinkedIn, Indeed. Everything is manual. But then I met somebody who owns a recruitment company. Actually, it's not a recruitment company. It's like a coaching company for recruiters. And then I paid for her coaching program, and we're currently using their system right now on how to recruit 5-star talents or 5-star employees. And we are using their systems as well. So before, when I started the business, our recruitment process was very simple. It's just you send your application, your resume, we'll review that, initial interview, and then final interview. That's it. Now we have a very strict recruitment process because we want to filter out those candidates that are not qualified, and we want to make sure that we really assess their skills. We assess their cognitive ability, their grammar skills, because most of our team members, actually all of our team members, are outside the state. So we have team members in the Philippines, Venezuela, Kenya, and India, but predominantly most of our VAs are based in the Philippines. So right now everything is automated. The platform that we're using for our recruitment team, when we post something, it automatically sends out our job posting to different social media platforms. So we get, let's say, thousands of applicants a month, and we only hire probably 5 or 10 of them because we really filter out those that are not fit for our culture and for what we're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So a lot of it is really just making sure you have a good application grading system in place, filtration process, to ensuring that the quality meets the demand as far as making sure that end result is good for the entrepreneurs you work with. So building on your growth, talk to us a little bit about how you're acquiring some of your clients right now. What are some of those strategies you're using to really find some of the clients you work with, some of the CEOs and entrepreneurs, whether it's paid ads, social, organic, referrals? What's been working best on that front?
Yeah, so initially when we started, we were using LinkedIn, and almost 50% of our clients actually came from LinkedIn. That was the time when LinkedIn wasn't as saturated as now. Right now, if you go to LinkedIn and when somebody sends you a connection request, the first thing that you think is that, oh, this person is going to sell me something. But thank God when we used LinkedIn for outreach, there wasn't a lot of salespeople on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn was such a blessing to my company during the time I was starting out, because we got a lot of clients from LinkedIn. We sent them messages, we connected with our potential clients, and we automate that part as well. But I have a VA that does the relationship building on LinkedIn, because we cannot rely just solely on automation. And so as LinkedIn was dying down a little bit for us, when we were getting much leads from LinkedIn, I'm glad that while we're doing LinkedIn outreach, we were also working on our website SEO. After we're not getting much leads from LinkedIn, then we're getting a lot of leads from Google. And it wasn't actually something that we planned, but it's just something that we did all of this together. While we're doing LinkedIn, we're working on our Google website optimization. And so currently, Google is actually our number one lead generation source. Second would be referral. And then LinkedIn is probably on the bottom now. We still do LinkedIn outreach, but it's not as fast as what we experienced before. Like before, we can get 10 20 leads from LinkedIn in 2019 to 2021. But
Yeah.
now we can only get like 1 or 2 leads from LinkedIn. But from Google, we get between 15 to 20 a month, and we get client referrals as well. But our monthly leads goal is 25, at least 25 booked meetings a month.
I would love for you to expand on that, especially with that goal in place. Where do you feel like there's maybe like a delta? How far are you guys off from getting to that goal?
So 25 is our goal, but of course, not every day is rainbows and butterflies. Just so last year, almost every month, we're able to reach 25 leads every month. Of course, there were months that we weren't able to get those leads. And this year, we noticed that in a month, the average that we get is probably between 18 to 20 leads a month. There were months that we're able to get more than 25, and it's actually able to cover for other months that weren't able to reach our goal. So it's not as consistent as we expected it to be, but to be honest, with the current economy that we are in right now, with the rise of AI and all, I feel like it's somehow expected for our leads consistency to change, because right now people don't use Google anymore. They use ChatGPT to research. Even me, I use ChatGPT for everything. And so one thing that we're working on as well is optimizing our website for AI search. And we are rebranding our website as well, making sure that our messaging is actually what we offer to our clients, because we also notice that even when we get 25 leads, not all of those 25 leads have the budget for us, right? Not all of those 25 leads gonna convert. And our goal is to have at least 5 new clients a month, or at least a total of $6,000 sales. So in terms of that, we're able to, like, with our leads as well, some months we're able to reach our target new client count, but some months we're not able to, and some months we're able to achieve the goal and maybe have some extra new clients that we're able to cover for other months that we're not able to get new clients. So there, I think in short, is we're able to achieve the goals for some months. There's no consistency, but some months they're able to cover for those months that we lack leads or new clients.
I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, especially with Google Ads, right? That's primarily the main way you guys are running a lot of your ads, and the CPL can be super high. Have you also looked at doing some advertising on Meta, perhaps, especially to lower the CPL, lower your CAC as well, but still get a lot more of that volume as far as the lead acquisition goes?
Right. Yeah. So actually, we're not running Google Ads. We're getting leads from Google Organic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we did Google Ads before, but we didn't have much success. And we were like, you know what? Why do Google Ads when we're getting organic traffic from Google? So we stopped doing Google Ads. Now we are currently used doing Facebook ads, but we don't get as much leads as well. And recently, we actually revisited our marketing strategy. And now our marketing strategy for different platforms is based on the funnel that we have created. The first funnel is awareness. And then the second funnel for us is consideration. And then the second one is action. And then the next one is conversion. So right now, we just recently started this because before we're running Facebook ads for traffic, we have the image, we have the video, we have the copy, and then we direct people who saw our ads to our website. But now what we're doing is we want to focus on lead magnets so we can get their information. And then once they are inside our funnel, we can nurture them and hopefully turn them into paying clients.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting how you said that because we've worked with a VA agency and they just scaled to 800K per month using just paid ads on Meta, targeting their ICP. And a lot of it came down to having messaging and really niching down in a vertical to where you can be able to create a repeatable result and a flywheel effect, essentially.
How much is their budget a month?
I would have to, we can talk about it probably at the end, but
Yeah, because our budget is not that high. I think for us, we're just using Facebook ads really for brand awareness and then retargeting them so that our brand sticks to their mind and making our best effort to get their information so that we can nurture them inside our email list.
so as far as it goes with organic, right? I want to get your thoughts on this. It can be the most powerful, but it's not always the most predictable way to generate leads. What does that next step look like for you as a founder, especially as you're looking at scale and growth to create more predictability on the lead gen side? I'd love to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, that's a good question. Of course, for every marketing effort there is a budget, right? And even for my company, even though we are almost at the seven figure now revenue every year, we have a budget for our marketing. And even though we know that there are a lot of marketing efforts out there that we can do that can potentially bring us leads, we're very conservative as well when it comes to our marketing budget. And so that's one of the reasons why we are sticking to organic and maybe referrals and word of mouth. And in terms of ads, we're only using Facebook ads and we don't really have much budget for Facebook ads. If I'm being honest, our budget is only $10 to $15 a day. It may not be as much as compared to other agencies. And that is because we don't see much result. And so we're like, for the past 5 years, what we're doing is that we are doubling down on those marketing efforts that we see results, if that makes sense, instead of wasting our money on something that we hope to work but is not really working. And so recently what we did to help us with our lead goal and sales goal is we launch a reseller program. This is an opportunity for other business owners, coaches, or anybody who has established business already to expand their services and add virtual assistant services. So the goal is for these business owners to partner with us. We call them reseller partners. So what they're going to do is they're going to promote our services to their market, to their clients, to their connections. And then once they have a prospect and this prospect is interested in hiring a virtual assistant, a team of virtual assistants, then they send the contract to them. And then, so they close the lead for us. And then we give them a reseller discount, which is lower than what we are currently charging the client. And it's up to them how they want to mark up the rate that we gave them. And then they will transition the client to us, they will hand off the client to us, and then we'll do the fulfillment from there without the involvement of the reseller partner. So it's an opportunity for them to grow without doing the heavy work. All they need to do is do the sales and marketing, and we'll do the operation side of the business. So far, We just launched that 2 weeks ago, and so far next week we are anticipating 3 new clients from that initiative.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So sales goes on that topic. Talk to us a little bit about how that's all structured right now within your business. Is it just you right now having some of those conversations on the sales side, or do you have a team in place handling business development, closing? Walk us through really how all of that looks like.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm not alone in the business and I have other people helping me with implementation, and I have other brains, who can collaborate with me, because I won't be able to scale the business to 70 plus team members if it's just me alone. So I have a COO. My COO is the one who handles operations. So I don't even think about client concerns or dealing with our team members, because my CEO handle all those kind of stuff. And of course, I have my recruitment lead. I have a recruitment specialist to take care of recruiting our or team members, and I have a marketing coordinator and then a marketing assistant. And then I also have an outsourcing specialist, and I also have my own assistant who helps with sales and marketing sometimes. But currently I am the brain when it comes to marketing and sales. So that's actually the department that I handle as a CEO in the business. And then I collaborate with my team members when it comes to sales tactic and marketing strategy, and they implement everything for me. And of course, I also have a business coach. Though they're not really internal to my team, they're part of my growth. So I have coaches and mentors who help me think through things as well.
Amazing. I actually want to get your thoughts on this, especially as you're managing a global team and also doing things on the day-to-day with sales, marketing, which must be a juggling act. How are you navigating things as like a founder and being able to do some of the founder-led activities?
To be honest, it's not really that hard, because I'm not doing all the implementation. I just do the strategy. And then once I do the strategy for both of my companies, I have trusted team members who implements all my strategies. And it doesn't feel like it's only me who does all the work. Like, I have a team who makes sure that they implement my vision for the business. I think the most annoying part really is when you do sales and marketing is when the strategy doesn't work. So you
Right.
have to do your research, you have to A/B test, and you have to be willing to pivot to a different strategy if it doesn't work.
Yeah, 100%. And pivoting and being able to iterate continuously, it's super important, especially as a founder, and even taking on new perspectives as you look at scale and growth. Kristy, what does the vision look like over the next 6 to 12 months with really wanting to scale the VA business? What are you looking to hit as far as performance milestones, revenue targets? Would love for you to share that with us today.
Yeah, sure. Like I mentioned earlier, we're almost to the point where we hit the 7-figure revenue this year, and it's only mid-year. And to be honest, if I'm being honest, there's not even a point in reaching a 7-figure revenue. What matters most is your profit. Because when you say I have a 7-figure business, what does that really mean? How much did I even take home from that 7-figure revenue a year? I feel like it's just a bragging right that you can tell other people. But I think it all boils down to how much was your profit from that 7-figure revenue. And so our goal really since last year is to have at least 20% profitability. And that's excluding my share as the business owner. My share is included there, my distribution, but that's including my payroll as a business owner and all the expenses. So that is really the goal, to have 20% profitability, because once we reach that goal, that means we'd be able to maybe expand the business, or I can open up another business, or we can increase the salary of our team members or provide more benefits to our team members. Or maybe if we reach that point, we don't want to get as much client as we want now, because we want stability. We don't want to keep chasing for clients. We want stability, and we wanna, breathe. You know how it feels sometimes when you keep onboarding new clients. So I think that is the goal for the next to 12 months. Of course, I have a different goal for myself, for my own personal development, but that is different.
I love that. I love that. What do you feel as a founder, as you talk about the ups and flows of running a business, what do you feel is like the biggest bottleneck to getting that percentage of profitability and really making that consistent as far as like keeping afloat and getting to that next level? Is it like the lead gen side of things, sales? Where do you feel like that is?
If I'm being honest, oops, I think I said it. I said that too loud. If I'm being honest, I think it's client attrition. So if you asked me last year about that question, my answer would have probably be different. But this year, I don't know what's going on this year. It's probably because of the politics here in the United States and the economy and all that. I'm sure you know all
Yeah.
about that as well. And you're based in Canada, right? Are you? And I'm sure Canada is also affected with that economic inflation. So this year is just, I don't know, it's just kind of different. We had clients who canceled their subscription, and we tried to ask them about why they're canceling, and what we mainly get is business decision or financial challenges. They're unsure about the economy. So I feel like this year, if we didn't have any clients who left, and we also we also had new clients that came in, I feel like we would have been able to get to that 20% mark already if it weren't for clients canceling their subscription. I don't know. I feel, of course, internally we're also asking ourselves, is there anything we can improve? Because even though clients, they say I'm canceling because the economy, business change, financials, blah blah, we try to also be self-aware and make sure that we're not the cause of their cancellation, and we try to make sure that the services that we provide to them is really of quality. And yeah, I guess that is what I have observed recently. The biggest bottleneck right now is client attrition. So I feel like we have high churn rate this year, which luckily we're able to replace them with new clients, but that's tiring, right? When you try to keep replenishing your clients that canceled their subscription.
Yeah, 100%. So as far as it goes, it's like really how do we create better LTV when it comes to making sure our clients stay? Have you considered as well, like maybe bringing in an expert? Are you looking at new ideas as to how you can start to maybe increase your acquisition on that front? What's your thought there as a founder?
You mean acquisition of clients?
Yeah, just to maybe see some strategies. How do you automate a process to get more clients as far as it goes?
Yeah, so I have spoken with somebody, with one of my mentors, about sales, and I have actually met with other agency owners to kind of see where they are at, to make sure that, are we the only ones who's experiencing this? But I got different answers from different people. But this one mentor that I kind of consulted with, he told me that, Kristy, because of AI, doing a task for somebody is not as valuable now because of AI, but collaborating with somebody, building a relationship, just making this person feel that you are important and that you're providing value, that is what's working right now. So that's why recently we also implemented talking to our clients, helping them with tasks that they need help with, and even strategize for them to the best of our ability, because we want to extend help to them, even though it's not really something that we should be doing.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Really building that value as much as possible so that you can start to see that there is that loyalty built as far as your client base goes.
Right. Yeah, of course, I'm always open to other people's recommendations. And recently, we've also started, because of our observation that our churn rate is getting higher as what we normally get or what we're normally used to. We started tracking our clients lifetime value. So actually last year it was at 40 months. Oh, I think the recent reporting that I checked, it's at 14 months, which I feel like it's not really that bad as compared to other companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things in the work as far as this year goes with scale and growth. What's the best piece of advice you would give to our listeners about scaling a mission-driven business like yours, perhaps from one of your mentors or just from some of your own personal experiences? What would you say to our listeners on one last note?
Yeah, so in business, there's a lot of things that you have to deal with, right? You have to deal with firing an individual, handling escalations, dealing with low sales, low lead count, and all that. Plus, you have your team members you have to take care of, and sometimes your team members' problem are also your problem. And you have your personal life that you're dealing with, right? You have other family members that you're dealing with. And so what I learned recently is that if it's not a hill to die on, don't die for it.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that we can control. So if somebody comes to you and they're like, oh, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. If it's something that you cannot control and if it's not even your responsibility to fix it, just be a soundboard for them. Just listen, but you don't have to fix everything. And if there's an issue, a challenge that's currently happening, ask yourself, if is this something that I should involve myself in, or is this just going to take me away from my responsibility? So if it's not for you, don't take the responsibility, because it's just going to derail you from your focus, from your scaling your business. You're not immortal. You also have to take care of yourself. So just focus on things that you should be focusing on and let other people do their own thing. And again, if it's not a hill to die on, don't die for it.
Yeah, I love that. That's so powerful, Kristy. Honestly, I love the fact
Thank you.
because so many people, I think founders, especially and entrepreneurs, when they're managing teams, they oftentimes give a lot of chances to those team members, and oftentimes they don't see some of the fruits of their efforts panning out in that sense. I want to ask you another question. If you had a genie in the room, right? You rub the lamp and now you have all these unlimited resources. What would you implement immediately to accelerate the growth of your business?
I saw this from the question you sent me, but I haven't really thought of an answer. But if I had a genie and I can make that genie do one thing for me, I'd probably ask that genie to bring more clients to my clients, bring more success to my clients. Because if our clients are successful, then they won't have to cancel their subscription. They would even subscribe to more hours to get more days within our team. So our clients' success is also success. So I feel like that's something that I would ask the genie for.
I love that. Yeah, I love everything you're doing, helping other entrepreneurs, CEOs, and yeah, just you guys heard it first, really bringing more success to your clients and making sure they feel enabled on that note. What's the best way for the listeners to get in touch with you, find out a little bit more about what you're doing over at really all the businesses that you have?
Thank you. I'm active on LinkedIn and also on Instagram, but you can just simply go to my website, personal website, KristyYoder.com, KristyYoder.com, and you'll find everything that I do there, my podcast and all my social media links and my companies as well.
Amazing. On that note, that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Kristy, thank you so much for joining us today and being a guest and sharing this empire you're building with really VAs and empowering other entrepreneurs out there in the space. So we'd love to have you back, hopefully in 6 months, hear a little bit more about your progress and go from there. So to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also find some more resources over at closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses grow through world-class marketing and sales systems. So until then, everyone, keep climbing, and we'll see you all on the next one.